Okay, so let's talk about AI. I know just to kind of do some math to ground things here. Let's just say that the total sort of compute capacity of all GPUs in the world today is X. What do you think? What multiple of X will we be at in 5 years?
First of all, you know that I'm going to regret saying this. And this is I'm a public company, you crazy person. See, this is how nice is it to be private?
Safe to say considerably more?
Well, let's reason about it, shall we? Okay, so let's reason about it. Let's reason our way through, okay? So first of all, it goes like this. The world has installed about $1 trillion worth of data centers. Those $1 trillion worth of data centers use general purpose computing. General purpose computing is run its course. We cannot continue to process that way. And so the world is going to accelerate everything. Data processing, you name it, okay? And so we're going to accelerate everything. When we accelerate everything, every single data center, every single computer will be an accelerated server. Well, there's about $1 trillion worth of computers, if we don't grow at all, over the next, call it 4 years, that we have to go replace. 4 years, 6 years, pick your number of years. But if the computer industry continues to grow at some 20% or so, we'll probably have to replace over the course of next, pick your number of years, about $2 trillion worth of computers with accelerated computing. So just make that GPUs, okay? That's number one. And this is the second part. This is the reason why all of you, Stripe, you're onto something just absolutely monumental. This idea called, and you've heard me say, an industrial revolution. Let me tell you why. We are producing something for the very first time that has never been produced before. And we're producing it in extremely high volume. And the production of this thing requires a new instrument that never existed before. It's a GPU. And the thing that we're producing for the very first time, for the mathematicians and all the computer scientists in the room, for all of you, you know that we're producing tokens. We're producing floating point numbers at high volume for the first time in history, and the floating point numbers have value. The reason why they have value is because it's intelligence. It's artificial intelligence. You can take these floating point numbers, you reformulate it in such a way that it turns into English, French, proteins, chemicals, graphics, images, videos, robotic articulation, steering wheel articulation. We're producing tokens at extraordinary scale. Now, we've discovered a way, through all of the work that we do with artificial intelligence, to produce tokens of almost any kind. So now, the world is going to produce an enormous amount of tokens. Now, these tokens are going to be produced in new types of data centers. We call them AI factories. Back in the last industrial revolution, water comes into a machine. You light the water on fire, right? Turn it into steam, and then it turns into electrons. Atoms come in, electrons go out. In this new industrial revolution, electrons come in, and floating point numbers come out. And just like the last industrial revolution, nobody understood why these electricity is so valuable and is now sold, right? Marketed kilowatt hours, per dollar. And so now we have, million tokens per dollar. And so that same logic is as incomprehensible to a lot of people as the last industrial revolution, but it's going to be completely normal in the next 10 years. Well, these tokens are going to create new products, new services, enhance productivity on a whole slew of industries, $100 trillion worth of industries on top of us. And so this industry is going to be gigantic. And in order to monetize that, transact that, you're going to need Stripe. And so...
Go find the link in my bio for more.